All right. I think I'm live here. Give me one sec. Make sure that everything's going well. Okay. Well, what's up, everybody? Today is the day. Got a new music video coming out in just a couple hours at 5 o'clock. And I am just super excited to finally share this with you. And I apologize for being a couple minutes late on the live stream. I had to feed our pet bunny rabbit because he was pitching a fit, and you would have just heard a bunny pulling on his cage the whole time, and I would have felt like a terrible person. So, can everybody hear me okay? This is the first time I'm using this mic for this live stream setup, and I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me before we get going. A little more volume. All right, give me one sec, Pete. I've got limited hands today, so give me one second. You guys are getting the live uncut version here. What's up? All right, so who we got here? We got Joseph, we got Pete, The Void to Neverland. What a great screen name. Another Noah in the chat. That's awesome. What's up, Noah? Q, Michael, Kathleen, Rosa. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, so like I said, new music video coming out today. I've got a song called Let the Damn Thing Break that's actually been out for, as long as the album has been out. And a few months ago, decided to kind of put this music video together with a really great team at Grayscale Media out of Atlanta. And that worked out because half of my band is from Atlanta. And I just want to say, a couple of quick thank yous before we get going here. Because some really awesome people worked on this video, and I just want to make sure that they don't go unnoticed. So I want to say a big thank you to our director, Lindsay Arias, and also her husband, who is director of photography, Grayson Arias. And I also want to say a quick thank you to Tyler Brown, Preston Little, and Abigail Melbourne. All people who worked on the video, and obviously I want to say a big thank you to my band, Rhett Scholl, Philip Conrad, and Ian Guthrie for hanging out with me and making this video possible. I'm really excited about this one because this is the first full band, like actual legit music video. It's also kind of the first music video where I really feel like you're getting a sense of how the band feels together, and I really am excited to release it. I'm excited for people to enjoy it, hopefully. I've been pretty nervous all day. That's why I have chamomile tea today instead of like actual caffeinated stuff, because I can't handle the caffeinated things today. But anyway, I'm super excited for you guys to see it. I also said that this was going to be a Q&A video, which it is. So I've got some questions started up here from Instagram yesterday. And if y'all have any questions that you want to add, just put them in the chat, and I'll try and address them as best I can. You can ask me about the video. You can ask me about music. You can ask me about songwriting. Anything that you want. This is just kind of I want this to be a very laid back, easygoing kind of live stream today, because that's what I need before any new content like this comes out, like an album or something big like a video. I'm always a little bit shaky. I don't know why, but oh well. Chris Berger, let's see. Yo, dude, you ever gonna make it back to Nebraska? I missed you in Omaha last year and was super bummed. I'm sorry that you missed us. Yeah, I'm sure I will. I don't have anything right this second on the books, but yeah, I'm always willing to go out that way, and we had a great time in Omaha last time, so yeah, I'm sure we'll come back. Let's see here. So I'm going to get some questions started here from Instagram. And like I said, if y'all have any more questions or anything, put them in the chat. And we'll just hang out and have a good time together. So let's see. Let's go with... All right, Nate2 Taylor on Instagram asks, what have been the highs and lows of your journey with self-promotion? Really? Okay, so coming out strong here. Self-promotion is a really interesting thing for me. I really, I think my like innermost self really doesn't like it. I hate talking about what I'm doing. I hate talking about my music. I know that is something you have to do these days, and I think that's kind of where the rub is. I'm proud of the work I do. I'm proud of the art I make. But I think, actually, as I heard someone say it today on TikTok, I think the lines between, being an artist and being an influencer are getting heavily blurred. And I agree with that statement from that person on TikTok that I can't remember who it was now. I feel like when I started playing music and started writing songs, I did it simply for the art of it. And I still, that's, when I'm writing music, that's where I'm coming from. I'm not thinking about, not always, sometimes I am, but I'm not always thinking about, okay, how is this gonna, how is this going to be perceived? How is this going to sell? How is, none of that really comes into it when I'm first writing a song. I'm writing a song, I'm trying to get whatever it is I'm feeling, out onto the page or through the guitar or whatever. But I think that nowadays you really can't get away from social media, especially if you're like an independent artist. It's your main avenue. It's your main source of getting things in front of people. And I have this kind of like love-hate relationship with it. There are some days that I really enjoy making content. There are other days, like more recently, I've felt kind of stuck a little bit because I've just felt like the stuff I'm making, or at least the content ideas and stuff that I have just aren't good enough or whatever like that. But that's a whole nother issue. But I think as far as self-promotion goes, it's just kind of this necessary thing. And I'm trying to just accept that and be more comfortable with just being myself online, which is hard to do. But I'm hopefully I'm getting there. I know that was like a super long-winded way to go about your question, but that's what you're going to get today. All right, what we got down here? Here's a good question from the Stiffmeister 7. When you're filming music videos, does everyone just mime their part? Pretty much, yeah. So if you go and look, if you go and look at my TikTok, you'll see I did a kind of behind the scenes type video, and there's a clip in there. When we're making the music video, there's a clip where it's like just before the end of the first chorus, and we come out of the chorus, and since we're playing to a track, so like what we have is we have like big wedge monitors on the floor in front of us that aren't on camera, that are playing the track to us, so we can kind of mime our part and try to match as best and close as we can. But on one of the behind the scene clips, it's my favorite clip because when you hear it, we get to the downbeat of the next verse, and Rhett's guitar is like insanely out of tune. We are playing in the room, like we are playing our instruments, and I am singing every take, which at some point I had to figure out how to not sing every single take, and how to actually like lip sync the lyrics, because that got really challenging because we probably did it about 20 times. And from my days on Glee, I know how tiring that can get. On Glee we did a lot of lip syncing, a lot of choreography, heavy choreography and stuff around the songs while you're still trying to sing. And what they told me was like the best way to lip sync is just to actually sing it, but maybe sing it at a quieter volume. So that's what I did for this video as well. But it's hard to sing this song at a quiet volume. It's a lot of shouting. There's a lot of kind of intense, passionate parts to the song that need to come off that way, and the only way I could get them to come off that way is to actually sing full out. But that really hurt my voice after a while, and I really didn't have much of a voice at all for the next 2 days after that. So that's definitely not a sustainable thing. But yeah, otherwise we're miming our instruments. And what I was saying earlier, the downbeat of the second verse, Rhett's guitar is so out of tune in one of these behind the scenes clips where as soon as we get to it, it's just this like kind of awful sounding thing. And it kind of sounds like if you've ever seen those bad lip reading videos that they do on YouTube where they take like an iconic movie or whatever and do overdubs on it. Sounds like that. Harry Tornado says, where do I live now and do I miss living in Greer? Spoiler alert, I still live in Greer. Yeah, so I'm still holding down the fort. All right, let me see here. What did I miss? What's the best way to get, let's see, Steel Samurai. What's the best way to get a foot in the door of the music industry as a solo artist? Honestly, nowadays, I would say probably TikTok. It's one of those things that it's going to get your face and your music and your voice or whatever it is that you do in front of potentially millions of people with the right video, or even 1,000 people or sometimes a couple 100,000 people. That's huge, right? So what I see these days is a lot of young artists. The first thing they do is TikTok. They find their fan base there. They can, and I think this is definitely not the case for everybody, but I personally feel like with TikTok especially, you can, people want you to be your most like genuine self with them, I think, and they kind of want to learn stuff from you too. But with somebody that's just starting out and you're just trying to get your voice out there or your songs out there, I would get on every social media app that you can and try to build the best following that you can and put out content that you're proud of. And I think that TikTok and like YouTube Shorts and Reels and stuff does a good job of finding those people that are kind of in your niche and bringing them to your content. And I think TikTok probably does the best job of that person, just from what I've experienced. But yeah, I would say you just can't neglect the socials. And then also on top of that, I would say if you're really serious about it, and I don't know if you're trying to be someone who's a performer, I don't know if you're trying to be on stage all the time, or if you're like wanting to be a behind the scenes person, maybe a producer or a songwriter. But if you're wanting to be a performer and perform your own music, then definitely you need to be on TikTok and all of the social media apps, but you also need to be playing live. And that can be at a farmer's market. That can be at, a local venue. If you're at that level, it can be at, somewhere bigger than that. Like it just kind of depends on where you're at. But you need to be playing live. You need to be figuring out how to express yourself in a live situation, because I feel like that's a big deal. And that's something I'm always trying to evolve a little bit on. And you need to learn how to connect with an audience that's right in front of you and kind of bring them on a journey with you. So those are like my two, I guess, just off the dome. Those are my two tips there. Let's see. Let me see. Sorry. Oh, thank you. AEW Main Treasure Adventures says, love everything you do. It's extremely hard to take someone else's great song, rearrange it, and make it even better. Not to mention your own, not to mention you're one heck of a songwriter, storyteller yourself. Keep it up. I appreciate that. Yeah, that is something, obviously I got my start doing covers and stuff like that. And it's really been a good way to open the door for me. That's another thing that kind of goes back to, I think, Harry Tornado's question. Find cover songs and stuff maybe that you can be your own like authentic self through, if that makes sense. I don't think you should just cover songs just to cover them. I think that in fact my friend Philip Conrad, my bass player, just put out a video on this, like what makes a good cover song. You can check that out. And I think I had a lot to say in that video as well. But anyway, yeah, I think that's always been a part of who I am. And nowadays, when I'm with the band, that's something we try to do when we add a cover into the set, because we're not trying to be a cover band for sure. It's definitely about the original music. But I think that when we add a cover into the set, we're looking for the one that we can still add our own twist to, right? Our own flavor to. And that's how it always ends up being the best one. Sorry, my phone's blowing up right now. I got to figure this out. Here we go. Here we go. Gotcha. Joseph Secker, what is the picture over your left shoulder? That is actually really special. It's a special poster of mine. It's an old tour poster from my first time in the Netherlands. Hold on. I think my camera just went dead. Oh no, everybody. 1 second. Okay, and we're back. Boy, they don't... I forgot how hard live streaming is when you're just by yourself. You don't have anyone else helping you. Where was I? Oh, the picture behind me. So this picture, or this poster, I should say, was made for me with my first tour in the Netherlands. It was at a club called Vera. And this club is actually it's this iconic venue, kind of small, but it's an iconic venue that even like U2 got some of their start in. And for me, that's a huge deal because I'm a huge U2 fan. And the guy that made this poster in the venue had a bunch of them made, and I was able to snag a few copies. I think I have this one and like 5 or 6 other ones, and I just really love the poster, and it really was one of my favorite tours ever. It was just me on acoustic guitar, just kind of getting to know Europe for the first time, and since then we've gone on several really great, successful European tours, and I've just kind of fallen in love with it. So yeah, that's the story behind that poster. I've had it for a really long time, and I finally found a place for it up there. And I just love the artwork. I wish I could remember the person's name. He signed it, but I can't read it from here. But yeah, I it's just something that means a lot to me. So I hang it on the wall. Sorry about the technical issues. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Who knows? We're here for the journey, right? Let's see here. Karen Taylor, weren't you on AGT at one point? I was on America's Got Talent at one point. That was 2018, I think. something like that. I think it was season 13. Yeah, I was on there, and I went to semifinals, and it was really, really awesome. Had a good time. Sorry, just searching for new questions here. Oh, okay. Here's a good question. The Stiffmeister 7. How did the name Good Trouble come about for Rhett, Ian, and Phil? The name Good Trouble comes from John Lewis, Representative John Lewis, who recently passed away, and was kind of a hero of ours for a really long time. And I had a really cool thing happen where we had talked about taking his phrase "good trouble." He always said, go out there and make some good trouble, meaning to, advocate in any way that you can. And we always loved the name. We always wanted to do something with it. And it just kind of felt right when I started introducing them as Good Trouble. And eventually we were actually able to get we got a video from him, from John Lewis. And the video was of him, telling us that he loved the band name, and that he, hoped that we were getting into some good trouble. And I it's one of my most treasured videos that I have. And so ever since then we're like, well, that's the name for the band. So it's been Noah Guthrie and Good Trouble ever since. The Void to Neverland. Where's the wall of bird art? It is behind the camera, and it is ever evolving. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bird art pictures on my wall. They're all painted by my grandma, my Mimi. And I actually just got a new shipment in of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more that I have yet to hang. And I've got to figure out where to put these things, because I love them. I think I have more than 6 waiting to be put on the wall. So it's behind the camera, and I would show you, but it's just a mess right now trying to get everything to point that way. So I'll have to show you some other time. All right, let me see what we got from Instagram again. Harry Unplugged on Instagram says, "What's your practice routine like?" That's a good question, because I don't always think I'm the best at practicing, because I think that I definitely, for me, I'm not like a huge music theory person. I mean, I know, the basics and everything of how music works, but I'm not a huge theory person. I'm also not a shredder on the guitar. I don't really, that's just kind of not my thing. I am, pretty much a singer-songwriter. And I do try to work on my voice quite a bit, and I've tried to do that more so recently, just to try and strengthen my voice a little more. And figure out ways to kind of keep it fresh. That seems to be the hardest thing for me right now, is just my style of singing. While it feels natural and it doesn't hurt or anything to sing the way that I do, but I'm moving a lot of air and I'm spending a lot of energy doing it. Like if I'm in a live show, especially, the shows we just did in Texas, where the added element of heat was like crazy. so crazy hot. We played these shows. The way I sing, there's no real way to do it lightly, and there's no way to I have a lot of distortion in my voice as well. Some natural distortion. I'm not forcing it or anything like that, but I guess what I'm trying to say, to get back to the question, was I'm trying to figure out ways to sing the way I do, not change that too much, but also preserve my voice, because after several shows in a row, the voice, it doesn't go away, but it definitely gets harder to sing, and it's harder to take care of it. So I am trying to do that, and I consider that practice. But as far as like practicing guitar and stuff, what I'm practicing when I pick up a guitar is songwriting. I'm not really trying to not always trying to master every scale that I can find or anything like that. I'm just trying to get better at songwriting. I'm trying to write something new. I'm trying to write something that moves me like the last song did, or even more than the last song did. So that's kind of my practice routine. I'm just basically, anytime a guitar is in my hands, that's practice for me. There are a lot of people that would take a lot of issue with what I just said. Maybe rightfully so. I think kind of to each their own a little bit, but I think it just kind of depends on what you want to do. Like if you want to be, like if you were going to be a jazz guitarist, you would just be practicing jazz all the time, right? And your best jazz technique and stuff. But like for me, I'm just trying to write the best songs possible. And a lot of practice for songwriting is not really with your instrument. A lot of it is with your brain. A lot of it is reading. A lot of it is learning to be more observant in your environments, because you got to have stuff to write about. And sadly, a lot of it is learning to be more observant of yourself, and that's really, really hard practice. I'll say that for sure. Steel Samurai says, I've noticed every time I sing, I'm getting a lot of compression in my throat, and it makes me lose my voice. Any thoughts on what I could do to fix it? Sadly, no. I'm not going to say I'm not a vocal coach by any means. I have been singing my whole life. Luckily, it is something that I have been, mostly blessed with. I think my camera just went down again. So here we go. Gonna try it again. Wait for it, everybody. Oh, we're having fun. Okay. Still not great. All right. Wait for it. All right. Yeah. This is ridiculous. All right, everybody give me 2 seconds. most exciting live stream anyone's ever done. Wow. Wow, this is crazy. All right. All right, everybody. So something is straight up just wrong with my camera. No idea what's happening. So I'm going to have to, I guess, cut this short. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this short, and then I'm going to start another stream as quickly as I can, I guess, like on my iPad or something here. So if you guys will stick around, give me like just a little bit, maybe a couple minutes, and I'll be back up and running in just a second. So sorry.